mean, it's a respectable ban. Maokai's really frustrating to lane against, and it's not even that he cares about winning his lane, he just eventually becomes an unstoppable tree giant.
Nautilus going to be the first ban off of Team Iron Dragon here. Ooh, quickly followed by the Orianna ban.
They're definitely showing that they want to disrupt that team fighty comp. So, Orianna, interesting ban. I don't know if that's the thing that I'm most concerned about, but sure.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they need to ban I'm Candy's the Fiddlesticks ban.
Love to see it.
Really feel like they should be banning I'm Candy's LeBlanc out here, but they're gonna instead target the Ornn.
So Fiddlesticks, in a lot of ways, you need to get rid of him. He's such a powerful AP jungler. Probably the most broken thing in the jungle right now. You gotta get rid of it. Ornn's proven himself to be pretty effective lately. And then Wukong, another top laner getting targeted. An immediate Aphelios pick.
Now this is interesting. This is Aphelios on the side of Team Trigger Happy. So they didn't ban it off of the Rift, and instead decided to first pick it to keep Iron Dragon from taking that option.
Taking the Thresh is a strong choice. You don't want Thresh Aphelios running around, and you can build a great team comp around Thresh plus ADC. There are a lot of good choices out there. We're hovering over... over Varus.
Yeah, the two strongest ADCs right now are currently Aphelios Varus, so definitely think that them getting picked up, if they aren't banned, is absolutely necessary.
It is important to remember, Varus has been nerfed a little bit on this patch. It's not shocking, he's been incredibly frustrating, so he's not quite as powerful. Ivern. That's not good clean jungling the way God intended.
No, not a massive fan of Ivern, but it could very well, no, it's not going to be Ivern mid. I was going to say it could be Ivern mid, something I've been seeing a little bit of lately. But it will be the Syndra picked up for that guy instead.
And the little Blanc.
That's scary.
Love to see it.
Alright, that's going to bring us into our second round of bans, and we will have to see where this leads into. Iron Dragon taking their time.
Still focusing on top lane. Really trying to limit what I and Minipod can pick up here.
Who dares defy my will?
J4, that's definitely targeting at your mommy here. One of his more prolific junglers is J4.
Morgana.
And the near ever-present Morgana ban. Iron Dragon got beat by it once, and I don't think they've missed a game yet where they haven't banned it.
And another jungle ban against Elise.
Oh, yeah. Ain't Your Mommy's also pretty well known for his Elise, so I could see that as a very reasonable ban there.
But Trundle's a good pickup. He's still a very strong jungler. The Taric Aphelios is another challenging lane. He's a great enchanter, great at protecting that Aphelios, so I can respect this pick. It's going to be a very powerful set of champs in bottom lane. Varus, Thresh, that they're probably the two best bottom laners you have fighting against each other.
Now here's something that's very like prototypical Iron Dragon. They come in with the Malphite as their last pick, as they're gonna look to use the Malphite as a hard engage and allow the Thresh to get into CC and Ain't Your Mom and just kind of bully around with this Trundle jungle, something we've seen him do before. Which it almost looks like Hacksaw actually going to be our support this time. I think they've made an audible to put him as or to lane swap Lava Chess and Hacksaw here. Something completely within the rules, just
Unusual.
always confusing for normally our Lava Chess is the main support, but we did see that he was capable of top laning yesterday, so not completely out of the question.
So these are some interesting team setups. You have a pretty powerful front line on both sides. I think even despite the bans, it looks like Iron Dragons has the better team fight setup, but both teams are quite strong in that regard, so it's only marginal difference. I think I like the Iron Dragon setup just a little bit more. It's a little more traditional, but it has a lot of power there. The trigger happy setup is amazing. Set and Syndra, a couple of the best things you can be doing on the Rift, but I think I like having that Trundle and that Malphite coming in hot a little bit more.
I think this Iron Dragon comp really does depend on whether or not Muthic is capable of chunking down this Aphelios before a team fight really breaks down, especially if we get into a later game scenario, which Iron Dragon's games tend to run a little bit long on average, as they play the macro game exceptionally well. But so if Muthic is capable of keeping this Aphelios backed away far enough that he can't just free range auto attack into the entire team, I think this I like the Iron Dragon team comp better. But this isn't an ADC player that we're super familiar with, so implementation will definitely be like the key point here. Can he do it? Will he do it? And will it work? That being said, Trigger Happy did let I'm Candy get LeBlanc, and like LeBlanc is one of I'm Candy's absolute best champions.
And that's another fantastic answer to Aphelios. LeBlanc just in your face, blowing you up, and then gone. Aphelios is a great target for that. And it's not to say that Syndra is not also an excellent mid lane assassin, but I'm afraid of Iron Candy's LeBlanc.
And rightly so. During the preseason tournament, I think he died exactly one time and ended with like a 62-1 record on LeBlanc. So definitely something you need to take into consideration. But once again, this game is entirely in the hands of our players, as this is League of Legends, not auto chess. It's up to them to make their wins or make their losses, and we will have to see how they perform as we load into the Rift. We'll just have to have the faith. Of course, me, a steadfast and devout Iron Dragon fan, I'm going to go ahead and say ID win at 26 minutes, give her ±2.
Pretty much on the side of Iron Dragons here as well, but I think this one might actually push out to the probably around the 28 to 30 minute mark.
Not biased, but
I don't think this is going to be quite the bowl over you're expecting, but I do think that it'll be a Iron Dragon victory in the end. Although I hate betting against the set.
yeah, set's just scary. Like that champion does very unfair things.
So of note, uh, we're going to have a cleanse flash, heal flash bottom coming out of Trigger Happy against a much more kill lane intense Haxel with Ignite. So I'm expecting them to try and bully this lane early.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Iron Dragon typically keeping a pretty aggro bot lane. Would expect to see Hacksaw very aggressive on these thresh hooks. Um, Speaking of aggressiveness, uh, ID realizing they're going to get spotted out. Looks like they may have been looking for an invade there, but gonna give up the ghost. Go ahead and get the recall in onto Muthic. Get that little bit of sliver of health back before running back to his own jungle.
And your mommy did manage to get that ward off into the blue pit, so they'll have an idea of what Ishan is doing throughout. Although we have to remember, Ivern's jungle clear is such a different experience. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very non-linear thought process with Ivern.
we have traded off blue wards. It looks like Troldanu managed to get one into their blue pit while everyone was rushing over.
Well, really nice little skirmish down here bot lane to start things off.
It's definitely interesting to see that Muthic started off with his. I want to say
Oh,
that's
this
his
is cheeky. All right, here in the enemy jungle, Ishan coming in and stealing 8 Your Mommy's blue buff. Very aggressive jungling off of this Ivern. Looks like... Ooh, big stun goes down on the Haxel. He's eating a lot of damage here. Muthic doesn't quite have the damage potential yet to really contest with this. So, damage traded and blue buff stolen. Definitely a really good start for Trigger Happy here.
But Ayormami seems to not be done yet. He's following deep.
He's very unhappy about getting his jungle stolen.
This is a lot of time that he is spending not catching up, and he's going to fall behind if he keeps chasing after Ishan.
Really big flash flay down bot lane. Hacksaw getting a little bit too aggressive here. I'm not liking this line of play. But 8 Your Mommy is here, forcing the flash out. Gonna get a little bit of damage, but he's going deep under this tower. Burns his own flash and gets super low. Muthic down to 10% health. This was a really sloppy gank.
Definitely not what you want to see. I would say going under that tower, that Troldanu was way too high on health to try that out, and nobody was close enough to follow up. Resources were low, so that was probably a little wasteful. We're gonna see.
Yeah, I feel like
we're gonna see Ain't Your Mommy falling behind pretty hard this game.
Yeah, I feel like Ain't Your Mommy may be playing a little tilted by the counter jungling from the Ivern, and it may be affecting his play style, which would be super unfortunate. But we'll have to see if he's capable of turning this his position around here.
Lotto Chess took the worst for wear in a little scrap with I Am Mini Pod in the top lane, but he's definitely not playing this lane to win fights, so I think that's completely acceptable.
Yeah, you're not likely to... Ooh, another engage down mid. Ain't Your Mommy getting stunned here as that guy just kind of keeps himself safe under tower. That's another failed gank for Ain't Your Mommy. It looks like he might have to back here with really nothing to show for it.
And we're starting to see a minor gold difference come out, and that's entirely based on CS difference, mostly in the jungle and bottom lane.
Yeah, Muthic a little bit behind here on CS.
I Am Candy is certainly doing well, but... Oh,
little scrap going on top lane. I guess one benefit that Malphite has into the set is he typically does damage very slowly. So Set's not able to really build up his grit super effectively against him.
also, Malphite tends to be a pretty beefy champion on his own. With that shield, he can hold his lane pretty effectively. It looks like Lotto Chess took a lot of investment in lane presence, both with that Corruptum potion and in runes. So he's playing to stay in lane.
Well, TP used up top lane. I am Minipod looking to get back up here and use that to just kind of keep up in CS. I'm not always a fan of that, but it is Cannon Wave, and it does represent a fair chunk of gold.
Lotto Chess picking up that Glacial Shroud and boots on a first back, so definitely respecting the amount of physical damage that can come out of a set.
Ooh, and you're probably losing out on another jungle camp as he basically leashes Scuttle for Ishan here.
And now Ishan just going after this unattended red buff.
Yeah, that's got to be incredibly tilting for Ain't Your Mommy here, who's really far behind.
Look at level 3, like 3 whole levels behind. Ishan's already at 6. He's not going to be helpful in many fights, that's for sure.
He's also down by 30 CS here. That's really backbreaking. But I'm Candy here, going in deep as the stun goes down on the Hacksaw down in bot lane. The hook is cleansed here, and Muthic has to take the lantern out. The bot lane's going to roam up here, and looks like they're just going to take the blue buff as it finishes processing from Ishan's very unique jungle pattern.
This is some aggressive invasion. I like it a lot, but this is the kind of thing that will make the jungle difference, as they say. With the priority that they have on bottom lane, you would think this would be a good time to push for Dragon, but Ishan seems to want to keep farming up his own jungle as well.
Yeah, Ishan doing an absolutely stellar job of getting into the enemy jungle and being a massive pain and getting things just done. Ain't Your Mommy just trying to do something here as he gets some vision into the blue side jungle, but even still, he's still only level 4, and Ishan's level 7 now. And speaking of which, here comes Ishan to... well, he won't steal away Scuttle this time.
Interesting that Ishan seems to have donated his red buff down bottom, so... He doesn't. He's supporting his team quite effectively. Although I think that's an aspect of Ivern. I hardly ever see the champion play, so that passive is a little long to read. We're at 10 minutes, and there hasn't been a move on this first dragon yet, but it looks like some aggressive warding is getting put out.
Yeah. Speaking of being at the 10-minute mark, gold is currently up to the side of Team Trigger Happy here by by just under 1,000 gold. So
Where it's been holding for the past few minutes, there hasn't been anything to change that, so Ishan doing a gank on
big
bottom
found down bot lane. Yeah, Hacksaw super low here. Heal's going to go down, but it's not going to be enough as that Aphelios has a particularly nasty combination of guns. But meanwhile, top lane, Laldichess winning that fight, not by much, but whether it's by an inch or by a mile, if you get the kill and you walk away alive, you most certainly won that fight.
I think Minipod had a misplay there. He ulted Lotto Chess out from under his tower, removing him from tower aggro, and that might have actually cost him that fight.
Well, Ain't Your Mommy's looking for a fight himself here. I don't think this is where we want to be. I'm Candy's eating a lot of damage here, but Lotto Chess is coming in. Oh, the Muthic pops ult, stunning down quite a few members, or rooting down quite a few members of Team Trigger Happy. As this is an incredibly extended fight. I'm Candy super low here, will eventually fall, but so will that guy in a return kill. All in all, a 3-for-1, not a bad trade for Iron Candy in the least.
It came out definitely ahead there, and I think that's what this team is going to need to count on. They haven't been winning their lanes, but in the ideal, they can win some team fights, and that might bring them back. And your mommy is having to spend a lot of time in the jungle just catching up, though. Finally hitting 6 at the 12:30.
It looks like it's going to defend top tower here for a second while it resets. And Ishan's going to look towards Dragon here. It will be sussed out from Iron Dragon. But whether or not they're willing to engage on this is a whole other question. I think they're just going to give it up. Yeah, just go for the cheeky steal attempt with Muthic. Just in case. Was slightly short, but you know, 1% odds are still 1%, or still work 1% of the time, right?
You also want to engage on that. Minipod has his teleport up, whereas Lotto Chess has already used his for the last team fight. I think it would have been a little greedy to engage that. That's not a fight you want to win, or that you could win.
Ooh, that guy getting a quick cheeky kill here, almost kill here onto Hey Rami, who's going to flash out. Lalto Chess has something to say about it, though. You go for my boy, I'm going to go for you. Unfortunately, Shelly will reset here, but it looks like they will immediately hop onto it. Pretty well uncontested. This will be a good chance for Ain't Mama to get some impact onto the board, as he's had quite a time of things. But meanwhile, down bot lane, Ishan here looking to get a gank off, forcing the flash off of the Varus. Muthic just trying to defend his tower here, as Daisy's going to take a few tower shots, but still survive.
It looks like they just missed getting that second plate.
Meanwhile, up top lane, Laldichess eating a lot of damage here. Was winning that trade pretty aggressively, but one good grab from the set under tower gets the additional tower damage in. Will be the call to back off from that fight, as Hacksaw is going to go take the time to invade into the enemy jungle and get some wards down.
is getting a pretty strong setup. Normal Malphite build, but with that Iceborne Gauntlet, that Bomby Cinder, he's getting pretty tanky already, so I think he'll have a good time against that set. If you notice, we're seeing a lot of movement. That guy floating towards top. It looks like they're trying to spread out all these buffs, benefiting from this Ivern's passive.
Things quieting down here a little bit as teams just kind of take a second to just handle their lanes for a minute while there's no real neutral objectives on the board.
But we're seeing first items getting completed. I'm Candy just finished his Ludwin's Echo. Muthic has a Blade of the Rune King completed against Savape's Infinity Edge. So we have a lot of power
fight
coming
down
in.
Bot lane. Hacksaw going in pretty deep. Pops ult, but so does Tarek. Savape doing a lot of damage here, getting that invulnerability from Troll to Noob. It's going to keep him alive for a very long time and allow him to just free flow damage into the enemy lane. Oh, that is a very cheeky Hourglass. I'm Candy is going to come in to pick up some kills. Minipud's going to die in the top lane in the meantime. As Ishan's going to make his way down into bot lane. It's a bit of a clown fiesta down here. Ends up trading 2 for 1, but there's another kill picked up in the top lane, making the overall trade a 2 for 2. As they siege down this tower, Trolldenoob going to eat a fair bit of damage here. Going to be shielded by Ishan. And Rift Herald's popped up top lane. It's going to get lots done. 2 charges down. As I'm Candy randomly picks up another kill onto Trolldenoob there. Overall, 3 kills to the side of Iron Dragon to the 2 kills of Trigger Happy, and Iron Dragon also picks up 2 towers in the process, super favoring Iron Dragon in the overall trade, pushing them from about dead to even in gold to almost 2k gold, well, like 1.5 thousand gold ahead in the course of about 45 seconds.
And they're now going to get a chance to reset, push lanes, set up, and get ready to fight over this second dragon. So what we do know now is this will either be an Infernal Drake or an Earth Drake, but definitely 2 exciting possibilities for what this Dragon Soul will give us.
Yeah, definitely both combinations work quite well for both teams here. An even tankier Malphite, an even tankier Trundle, or an even more explosive LeBlanc and Varus. This could be a very interesting fight as High Minipod goes in deep from the back line. Lots of damage is going down. Multiple ults are thrown in. Lotto Chess looking to keep things going. I'm Candy going in deep, trying to get kills with this LeBlanc. Going to kind of skirt away with some very cheeky play with his clone.
That was a disaster for Iron Dragon. They lost the dragon in the Smite fight. They lost 2 members in the actual brawl. They walked away with nothing.
Yeah, and then on top of that, this Ivern's gonna just kind of take away even more of the jungle from Iron Dragon here.
And now mid tower.
Ooh, really good kill for I'm Candy here as he kind of just manages to sit into the various members of Team Trigger Happy. That guy kind of caught out here. Iron Dragon will get this mid tower in response to the over-aggression from Team Trigger Happy here.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to get that tower, but instead they got a Malphite in the face. Pretty terrible time. Don't recommend it.
Yeah, finally a little bit of counter jungling able to be done from Iron Dragon here. It almost seems cathartic after how much of their own jungle was taken away from them. Um, but and your mommy's still pretty far behind here. He's only a level behind, but as far as gold's concerned,
Well,
actually,
fortunately for Ain't Your Mommy, he's going to
caught
recover
up.
pretty quickly. He's going to catch up with the jungle the way it works now. All the level 9 camps pushing him a lot faster. I think he'll catch up completely. Now, the question is, will they catch this sneaky Baron? And it doesn't seem like they're aware of it at all.
No pings have been thrown out. No one seems to have really got curious. Ain't Your Mommy did notice something was up and takes the second to pop the Oracle plant. But he steps a little bit too far forward here. Multiple stuns going down. He's super low. He's going to try to flash smite, and he succeeds getting the smite steal onto Baron. That is incredibly good fortune for him. As Lalochess is going to have to try pretty hard here to get to safety, but he eventually will skirt his way. As I'm Candy may be looking to pick up here a cheeky kill onto the support of Team Trigger Happy. Minipod getting slowed down here. Gonna have to flash in order to get away. But I'm Candy is LeBlanc, and LeBlanc moves.
And while they're doing all that up top, our bottom lane, Muthic and Haxel, have just casually taken 2 towers. So
Yeah,
2 towers and a Baron seems pretty decent.
Yeah, definitely well done by Ain't Your Mommy here to get that Baron steal. The game was kind of starting to look more like the Iron Dragon we're expecting to see, but after that Baron steal, it is 100%. Iron Dragon has woken up and is up and back in motion, ready to make things happen, doing that long, heavy-duty macro game that we so expect from them.
Floppy game for them so far, so I hope that they can continue bringing it together in this as we move into the late game. Optimization has been proceeding interesting. Again, it's hard to know with Ivern, but Athene's Unholy Grail as a jungle item, not something you typically expect.
Most Iverns I see end up normally going for these incredibly supporty builds, so I can kind of see that. Ooh, Flay into a hook here in a second, as that Malphite from Lalochess is going to go in super deep. I'm Candy looking to get some kills here into the enemy backline as the Taric ult's going to keep this fight going on for a lot longer than it should have. Troll to Noob here, just kind of staying alive, will eventually fall to Muthic, as Haxel lands a very well-positioned hook to guarantee the kill onto I Am Minipod, and that will be the mid-tower here, I am sure, in just a second.
That was a clean ace. That was exactly what they want. They caught them in the jungle, they used the power of this Baron, and they are punishing Trigger Happy.
Yeah, up 8,000 gold now. I'm Candy looking to make a quick pop onto that guy. As mid inhib will fall, this should be Iron Dragon either resetting for this dragon or looking to push top lane. It looks like they're actually planning on doing both, as I'm Candy, very capable of getting out of most conflicts here. Going to take a second to annoy top lane.
With the base now cracked open, with I Am Candy just being a massive pain, it gives Iron Dragon plenty of time to secure their Infernal Drake.
Iron Dragon has just reset. Looks like they should start doing some sieging with no neutral objectives on the board. Wouldn't be surprised to see if they send I'm Candy to solo a lane while the other members um, take either top lane or just kind of maybe do a 3-1-1 split. Put three members of their team up into the top lane and siege that down.
You're going to see them try and stick together. They might do a full 3-lane split. It doesn't seem completely reckless with the amount of mobility that their team has. But it looks like they're bringing Lotto Chess into mid with them.
Yeah, this could just be a 5-man mid. I could kind of see that. Although I do like sending I'm Candy up here into this top lane.
Oh, Lotto Chess is moving to bottom. Sometimes having a Malphite just rush out of the jungle is exactly what you need, but it looks like a 4-man push on top lane.
Yep, I'm Candy jumping in pretty deep to try to scare off that guy as they're going to siege up here, the top lane turret here. Daisy is dropped, and Savape has his Runan's Hurricane on this Ophelio, so sieging this could actually be incredibly difficult, which is why I was thinking that maybe they would do a pretty solid split push, as this Malphite down here in bot lane is doing some slow and steady chunkage. Looks like we might have a good fight here, as I Am Minipod steps forward pretty far. I'm a Candy slightly out of position, but it's LeBlanc. He's just going to skirt his way right on out of here. As this Malphite manages to solo take the turret down bot lane, and all this priority, all these lanes pushed, is going to give Iron Dragon the perfect opportunity to take Baron here. As I am Minipod, gonna try to follow this this LeBlanc for a while.
Lotto Chess is just getting free reign in the enemy base.
Yeah. Hacksaw looking for the hook here, wants to engage pretty aggressively. That's Tark ult wasted, basically, and I'm Candy's been given more or less free reign to annoy them now with Tark not being able to save his team. Lotto Chess joining the fight, gets a big Malphite ult into the back line, into a nice hook. Lots of damage coming down from this Aphelios, though. They're going to have to kill him before anything else, or before this fight continues. But Iron Candy's still more or less at full health. Good stun from the Tark, but it's not going to be enough, as Iron Candy's going to pick up a quick double kill, and that should be the end of this game, as the base will be shoved down quite aggressively from the members of Iron Dragon, with minions already up to the tower, or towers, of the Nexus. Things aren't looking great. GGs are being thrown out. Good little stun at the last second. That was cheeky. But Nexus will fall, and Iron Dragon will pick up another win in very typical Iron Dragon fashion. Although, it must be said that they played really sloppy to start this game.
So I would definitely say probably one of the major turning points, because there were several in that game. I want to call out where we saw a Baron steal, and that's probably the point where everything fell apart for Trigger Happy. After the Baron steal, they just didn't catch back up. Aomami proved his worth there. That was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a really good turnaround point. Ain't Your Mommy, despite being really behind to start, kept in the game and kept himself relevant throughout all that. So good job on that. You could tell he was very frustrated after getting some of his jungle stolen from the Ivern, but you know, he managed to turn it around, and in the end,
That Ivern was
managed.
excellent, though. I do
Yeah,
know
that
that we
was
do have an interview coming in, so we should get joined by Candy soon.
well, that'll be great. In the meantime, I just want to take a very brief look at the damage graphs here, just because I was curious. And yeah, I'm Candy did an absolutely massive amount of damage there. Speaking of which, the man himself, I'm Candy. You got your champion.
Oh yeah, I was surprised that was open for some reason because I have like it was banned every single game this season. After I played on preseason twice.
Absolutely. Um, so that game felt rough to start with. What's going on there?
Yeah, like it's because we had like a sub as well, but our team just like wasn't focused at first. We were like jungle got really like behind early, but we were like he was like getting tilted, but we were saying like it's fine, like we can like win, and yeah, and suddenly the Baron steal that he made was just huge, honestly. I think that was a game turning point where we made a comeback.
Absolutely. That was a fantastic Baron steal. Now, there was a lot of trash talk going in, albeit friendly trash talk from
Yeah.
Mommy and that guy. Did you feel pressured to win that lane because of that?
I mean, I just thought of like any other games. It's just like it was just one of those games that we just had to win. Like just like other games, all of the other games. Yeah, but I wasn't really on the trash talks because it was only here, Ancient Mommy and that guy. So yeah, but it's a friendship like kind of trash talks. It's all good.
It was definitely a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
what caused y'all to switch Hacksaw and Lotto Chess from top to support?
So Hacksaw is actually like he's not a top user usually, and he's like usually a support or ADC main. So we just like switched, thinking that this will improve our team.
Well, it definitely led to a win, that's for
Yeah,
sure. So,
and our top laner, Olo to chess, like he did really good this game. So he like pretty much carried this because he was the only lane that didn't really like lose. So
that was definitely a noticeable thing up top. I
yeah,
Minipod had some misplays against him, and he definitely dominated that set. But you were not far behind yourself, so it was definitely noticeable at many points. Your CS was back and forth with that guy. Did you actually feel like you were losing your lane, or
oh no, I mean no, like I never lose lane usually unless like I play solo queue. But yeah, like I knew I wasn't like killing him like solo kills, so I was just trying to do best just trying to get CS and all that. But I'm also like really comfortable with LeBlanc, so I knew like if we go late game, we'll win. So I was just farming and just looking for opportunity to kill people if I got a chance.
Well, the damage graphs most certainly show that in particular. You basically doubled the damage of everybody on the enemy team, dealing 25,000 damage. With only Lava Chess really getting close to you on the Malphite of all things.
Yeah.
So you most certainly performed quite well. Um, well, you've had your first real loss this go around. Uh, do you guys feel confident going forward?
Oh yeah, we are. Like always. Like we've been taking it more seriously now after that one loss. So I mean,
And
yeah.
speaking of that one loss, I've noticed a recurring theme in your bands. Um, I take it you guys really don't want to ever see Morgana in the jungle again.
I mean, we were like actually for that was for Morgana support ban, but I guess like kind of Morgana jungle as well. Yeah, that was. I don't. I mean, we'll try to beat it next time. What if we get to face it? But it was not a fun experience last time, so.
I hear you. Well, on that note, with that absolute confidence moving forward, I think we're going to cut to a quick break as we get the
Yeah.
next game set up and
So
ready to
shout out to
run.
the Trigger Happy because like they let us play, even though we had to like sub that in, it wasn't listed. So shout out to them. It was really a
That
good
was
sportsmanship by them.
that was definitely appreciated. All right,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I am Candy.
All right, thank you.
And here in a second, we're going to have Kisses for Cats playing against Smug Club.